Hello everyone, Hector Mendoza here. In this video I'm going to go over some utilities. I'm actually going and doing them individually. So if you look here to the left, you'll see system utilities, window layouts, input output, file management, and advanced. They're Microsoft calls them modules. They're more like utilities, but that's what they're calling them. And before you can use them, you have to install them. It's a free install by Microsoft, and there's some real good utilities. I've actually have paid for similar utilities that didn't do as much, and I spend probably a few $100s a year because I use a computer a lot. So what you would have to do if you haven't installed this, go to Microsoft.com, just type Microsoft.com and it should take you to this page here. And so this is what the page is going to look like, the home page of Microsoft. Right here on the right hand side you should see a search engine. If you click here, just type Power, P-O-W-E-R, Toys, T-O-Y-S, and hit enter. Then you're going to get this stuff here, right? It's a bunch of utilities. The one that you want to install, if you haven't installed it, is the Microsoft PowerToys. So you would click here. I'm using English, so I think there might be other languages, but let's say go to English. You would download it. Then up here you would see a download appear, a little folder. You would click on that. Then you would install it. It'll take you about 5 to 10 minutes. Once it's installed, then what you would do is go to your start and then just type Power Tools, P-O-W-E-R-T-O-Y-S, Toys. Now mine is already pinned here to the taskbar, but let me go ahead and unpin it for you. And then, so if you notice, I got a bunch of them, so you see it's not in here. So if I go in here, right click, I can pin to toolbar. Then if you don't have this many programs, you'll see it right in here. Otherwise you have to use this thing and get additional apps. So this is the app that I'm talking about, or utility. They call them modules. So once you sorry about that. Once you install this, now you're going to have all of this utilities, okay, or modules. But in each one of them, you're going to have to make sure that they are on, as far as enable or disable. If you're not going to use it, don't enable it. If there's stuff that you're not going to use, just keep it off. So now I have a bunch of videos out there already, and I explain the same thing about this, so you can skip it on the next one and then just go straight to the explanation of the modules. Alright, so now let me explain, or let me show you some of the tools. Alright, so in this video we're going to go under working and layout modules, and we're going to talk about always on top. Pretty cool utility or module. So the command for that would be Windows Ctrl+T. So you know, if you don't like memorizing commands, then what you would have to do is just, you know, like, I'm gonna close off of it. You would have to go to that link that you put on your taskbar, and then you would click here, and then you would go to always on top, and then, you know, this is where you would get the command. So let me show you what this thing does. Oh, by the way, remember, if you're going to use it, it has to be enabled. Then here's some stuff that you can do, some behavior appearance that you can do with this thing. So, you know, we're going to set the opacity of a border around what's going to of the window that's going to be on top at always, and the thickness we're going to make it at 6, and then we'll go up and down so you can see, and then you can enable round corners. So for right now, we'll go ahead and take that off so you can see the difference. So remember, the command is going to be Windows Ctrl+T. Let's say that I have a window open, and so let's do something here. Let's open up here. Let me move this down a little bit, and we'll put this up here. So watch this. So I'm going to open up Word. Give me a second here because I got Word. And here, let me do something. Equals RAND, let's say 15 paragraphs, 4 sentences per paragraph, enter. Okay, so that's just random texting. Okay, so, and let's say that you wanted to learn something. So, you know, let's say we would go to YouTube and learn something about Microsoft. So, what can we do? Highlight text in Microsoft, or let's just put Word, and then hit enter. You're gonna get a bunch of different things to show you how to highlight Microsoft, right? So let's move this over to the right a little bit, and the one that we'll do is this one right here. Okay, so we're gonna stop, and so you would now, and let's make this a full page. Okay, so when I would go to YouTube, I would have to click here, then I'd go down here, I would listen to some instructions, then as soon as I click here to do some highlighting, now I would have to go to the other, and you know, it'd just be a going back and forth, right? So this is what you can do. Let's go to that window. This time I'm going to make it permanently on top. Remember that command. If you type the Windows Control and T, you see that little border around there? It's a tiny little border, and it's not round, right? Because that's what we set that, and I'm going to show you how to set it even thicker and bolder and different colors if you want. But that's not what, well, yeah, that's part of the class. Now, you see, right now, when I move this there, my Word document, it doesn't affect it. In other words, I can highlight, you know, highlight it, and then I can go back to the instructions. And then you know, so let's say I highlighted that, and then highlighted this, and the instruction will tell you something. It always stays on top, no matter what you do here. You see, I moved it to a different page. Now I'm going to move it back here, and then, like I said, I can click here. It always stays on top. That's why it's called always on top. Now, let me show you some settings that you can do to this thing here. They're not really, I mean, it's just settings, but let's go to that utility. So we're going to click here, and on the, and so to keep this from not being on top no more, because no matter what I do, it will always stay. You see, I can move it around, and then I click here, it's still on top. Now if you want to deactivate it, you're going to do the same command, which is Windows Control T. Now you don't see that highlight. So now when I click here, you lose it. Now let's go ahead and show you some settings that you can change. Like I said, all it is just viewing certain ways. So where was it at? Let me see. Always on top, right here. Okay. Now the thickness of that border. You see how thin it was, right? Let's make it a real big thick border, and we're going to enable round corners. Okay, so let's go in here and Windows Control T. Now look, the border's thicker. Okay, so see how thick that border is? Earlier it was thinner. Not just that, but it's thicker. And if you notice right in here, look right here, you can see the text right behind that border, because the opacity of that, we're telling it a certain amount. So now let's go back to that utility, and let me that thing's on top, so I'm gonna go ahead and take it out of on top, so that when I click here you don't see it. Now, so the opacity, we're gonna tell it 100%. Oh wait a second, the wrong one. Opacity right here, 100%. Remember earlier we could see it right through that text. The thickness, we're going to even make it bigger. And then the color, we can click on color, make a custom color, and let's pick green. And then, so let's go back and turn this into on top, right? So it's going to be Windows Control T. Now it's green. When I move it around, you see right in here, right here, see, you can't see the text through that. That's what that opacity means. It's not, you know, it's nothing big. It's just something. I just want you to understand what that stuff is. And it is cool, man, because you don't know how many times that, you know, I might just have it right in here, and let's say that my my document was like this, but I only wanted a section of this, but you know, so let's go to columns. Let's have 2 columns, and then I could put this right here, and it would only affect. So then I would be right here, you know, make that oops, I would make that bold, and I don't know if those were the instructions are going to be in there. Make that italicized. This one, instead of left justify, I would right justify. Control R, right justify. Yeah. So or I would center this. Control E or whatever. Because I would be listening to this video right here. Anyway, that's all I wanted to show you. I love it, and I hope that this is going to be helpful. There's several utilities, and I'm going to go over almost every one of them because I do use a lot of them. Some of them I don't, and so we're going to go through all of this stuff. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. That helps my algorithms, and I will see you on the next one.